we'll say around 84, it really got out of hand. But it was just, you know, yeah. I'll say about 84 it really got out of hand.
Were there any efforts to try to make sure that this divide doesn't happen, since you guys had such a close history in the 70s, or was it was just on and nobody cared?
I can't say that. It wasn't like everybody. It wasn't like everybody was against everybody. It was just it ended up being individuals, and then they had to go with the politics that separated, because everybody wasn't fighting everybody at that time. You know, and it was just it ended up being like that after a while. You know, of continually, you know, everybody had to just stay on their side after a while. Even though I'm friends with you, and you know, me and you still friends, but you know, our areas was fighting, so we had to kind of separate and stay on our side.
Now, how close? Tell me a little bit about the 6-7s in your era. When did they come out, and how did you guys get close?
The 6-7s was before 6-7 was before Menlo. It was we was hustlers. I'm part of 6-7. I was a young boy over there hustling on 6-7. It was before Menlo.
Okay.
We
Now,
were kids.
was there a little bit of A-Tray Gangster influence in that neighborhood when you was young?
Well, over there, they was part of them guys as A-Trays. They were part of the 6-7 hustlers. You know what I mean? They had a lot of A-Trays that were 6-7 hustlers. They had a lot of Bloods that were 6-7 hustlers. You know what I mean? And we all met up there. We was all over there. The A-Trays and all of us used to be together until the gang banging came, and then the separation of that came. You know, everybody had to kind of join. And
did you ever run across a guy from A-Tray over there named Opie back in the late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah, I knew him.
What kind of guy was he? What was his influence?
He was a gangbanger. Yeah, I mean, you know, Opie was a guy over there. Yeah.
Yeah, because we lost him early.
Yeah.
I think 80, 84, 85 or something.
Yeah. But I know him real well. Yeah.
No, I always hear his name come up.
Yeah, he was a guy over there.
Now, here's someone told me that if Opie never got killed, the 6-7s would have never turned Crip.
Well, I mean, I can't say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we was all over there. I was over there with him too. I can't say.
Yeah.
I can't say, but I mean, it was just, we was all there together, so I can't say.
Now, were the Menlos ever hustlers, or was it just Menlo Boys? Was there a Menlo hustler era ever?
No, it was no hustler era.
Okay.
I mean, we was hustlers, but we never, Menlos never gave ourselves a name. We never named ourselves. The Hoovers actually named our area. We wasn't gang members. So they gave our area a name, you know, to depict the guys in that area.
And do you recall what Hoovers actually did that? Like,
Well, we know it's the 7-4s.
Yeah.
I mean, because they was the bosses around here.
is there any particular person that stands out?
No. We don't know. We just know that, you know, it comes from there. Maybe somebody from 7-4 could probably say who named it, but we wouldn't know.
Now, you guys were heavily into sports and football, right?
Yes.
What were some other teams around here that you guys used to play against?
But as far as
Football.
we played all the neighborhood people from every neighborhood. Wherever you was from, we play you in football.
Like, where would these games take place at?
Right here on this field right here.
So you guys always had the home court advantage, right?
Yeah.
So they would come here.
Yeah, we'll play here, but we'll go to different parks and stuff and play them too. Yeah.
Now, what were some of the other football groups?
The East Coasters, the 9-0s, the 6-0s, the Hoovers, the Bloods. We played everybody. Guys in Inglewood, everywhere.
Oh, okay. Now, so you said the 6-7s were already out before the Menlos. what kind of influence did the 6'7s have on the Menlo Boys back then?
They didn't have none.
Okay.
They didn't have none. They didn't have none. They was just what they were. They was just guys trying to get some money.
I heard that was a very money-making block,
Oh, yeah,
67th Street.
Yeah, you know, back in the days when we was over there, they said that street was making almost $2 million a year when we was younger. So you know, it was a news thing about it. So you probably could look that
Yeah,
up.
yeah. So, but when you walk down that street today, it just looks like a regular old street
Yeah.
now.
Oh man, it was. Man, you go down that street, man. It was guys everywhere, cars in the streets, and everybody was just running up to the cars, and they was buying marijuana at that time.
Okay. Let me see here. Now I want to ask about the naming from Menlo Boy to Menlo Crip. Take me back to that as much as you remember. There's a decision that somebody made.
Yeah, I was right there. It was a time where the guys was like, what we gonna be? Whether we gonna be Bloods or Crips, and we had to make a decision whether we was gonna be Bloods or Crips, and they voted to be Crips. Me, telling the truth, I got outvoted.
Oh, you was down with the Brims?
I wanted to be a Blood.
Who were your Brim influences back then?
The Six Deuces. Them was my partners. Them was the guys that I grew up with and I kicked it with. Them was my friends.
Did you know the Godot's?
Yeah, lived right off of 64th, right by the library, off of 64th in Vermont. Yeah, I was a little boy. I used to be around them. But you know, them was my friends, and at that time, it made more sense to me. And when they was making the decision, the Bloods didn't fight against each other, and the Crips used to fight against each other. And I'm like, why you want to be Crips and they fight against each other? But you know, the guys over here want to be Crips. So I just said, whatever y'all want to be, I'm just with you.
So
And
you
that's the truth.
You got outvoted.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me that.
No, but I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah.
When it actually, the decision was actually made. That was the discussion when the decision actually was made.
Were you the only one that was leaning more Brim, or did you have a couple others
Yeah,
that agreed?
it was a few more that agreed, but you know, we was there together, and you know, we actually had a vote, and they you know, it was only 3 of us wanted to be Bloods, but you know, and everybody else wanted to be Crips. But you know, the Crips was our friends, and we used to kick it with them. But then they turned against us. Like, we didn't understand. I didn't understand that. But when they made the decision, they voted to be Crips, and I went with it.
Now, were there other Brim sets that don't exist today that was part of all of this?
Yeah, they was
Like untouchable Brims? Or?
no. They had a lot of Brims around here. That this area has switched and swapped as a coming up a kid. You know, I mean, on Bonzello, and you know, they had Brims over there, and all on the blocks, all around here was Bloods. You know, it used to kind of intertwine. You know, they wasn't going to war like that. You know, you was a Blood, you was a Blood. Hey, bro, you know, they knew each other.